Hello everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and it's been a while. Yes, it's been a while. We've been away for a few weeks. We've been on a road trip to visit all our family. We went to Leicestershire and spent some time with my boys, and down to London and spent some time with my dad and my sister, and then we were in Oxfordshire last week, only last week, to see my eldest stepson and his family. And yeah, so I've got no reading done, none whatsoever. It's just been busy catching up with family really, and the heat, oh goodness me, we're not used to the heat in the UK. We don't have air conditioning, rarely places you go has air conditioning, and it was horrendous. So when you're hot and bothered, you know, it's a bit hard to do anything. But I thought I'd give you a bit of a review on what I've been reading leading up to going on holiday, a few books that I've not mentioned with you guys, and you know, without further ado, here we are. So I've read another one, Death of a Poisoned Pen, another one in the Hamish Macbeth series by MC Beaton. This was a 2-star read. This is the worst one in the series that I've read. There's somebody in the village who has done in, there's been a murder. They've done in the local postmistress who was having a fling with one of the postmen, I think, and there's somebody that wasn't too pleased with that. We can't have all that shenanigans going on in our little village. But it was nothing special, and it was boring really. And as you know, I love this series, but that's terrible. I'm going to start laughing now because David's chuckling and his shoulders are going. Don't know why. The Hunting Party, Lucy Foley. And this, I'd read quite a bit of hype surrounding this book. It's a murder, and you know how I like my murders, and a group of friends that have known each other since university. They go to spend the new year in the Scottish Highlands, out in the middle of nowhere in a hunting lodge. And you also know that I like my books set in Scotland. And it says here, the beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, and the outsider, the victim. Not an accident, but a murder amongst friends. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. Good characterisations. You really got an understanding of the characters, but to be honest, I didn't really care for any of them. We've got 2 other characters outside of the friendship group who are looking after the lodge, and they've got both of them have got secrets hidden from the past. And so we've got this group of people, and it's basically leading you along different paths to see who you think will be murdered and who you think will have done it. And yeah, it was okay. I enjoyed it, but you know, I don't think it was worth the hype, and I'm a bit sad I've got it in hardback really, so I won't be reading it again, so I might donate it to the library. And then next, I've started a new series by one of my faves, by Linwood Barclay, and I love his adult books. Great, he's a great author, great crime fiction author. But this is his young adult series, and we're introduced to Zach Walker in here, and he's a writer, and I love him. He's my new favourite. He's my new favourite character, I think. There's sort of although he's an adult, he can be a little bit childish at times. He can not always make the right decisions, I don't think. But it was a little bit humorous in parts, which I really appreciated, because if you've read any of Linwood Barclay's adult fiction, they're really gripping, they're really suspenseful, they really have you on the edge of your seat. This is the book one is Bad Move, and it's a really good he seems to think he's a bit of a sleuth, I think, and he just follows that, you know, his instinct that there's something strange going on that he's come across while he's doing his reporting, and off he decides that there's too many people getting killed in his neighbourhood, so he uproots his family out into the sticks, and I think there's more murders there than there ever was in the city, so it's a bit like that. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars, and as I say, I love the character. It came as a box set, so I think I've got book 2, 3 and 4, so I'm looking forward to those. So that's Bad Move, Linwood Barclay's YA series. Then it's got David's bookmark in here because he's reading it now. The Mesmerist by Barbara Ewing. Now, if you recall, I think this was in one of my last book hauls. Got it from the second-hand bookshop with some credits I had, and it is historical fiction, and I loved it. I wasn't expecting to. It's set in London in 1838, and we've got Cordelia Preston, and we've got, now then, what's her friend called? She's got a funny name, because I wanted to laugh when I read the name because it's ridiculous.
Really?
Lily. Really, somebody. Amaryllis, that's it. Amaryllis Spoons. See, Debbie's reading it in the minutes a while ago. Amaryllis Spoons. I mean, goodness me, you'd have to change that, wouldn't you? Sorry if there's anybody out there called Amaryllis Spoons. I apologise if I've offended you, but what a name. But it was fantastic. You really got a sense of time and place. I loved the characters. I loved Lily, and I loved Cordelia. They were lovely characters. There's sort of bonding between best friends in here. They start out actually treading the boards as they used to go around with the drama, what do they call it when they're out on tour? Troupe, that's it, they used to call them a drama troupe back in the day, didn't they? And it started off like that, and then eventually we start to realise that there's some sort of psychic powers going on, and it's really quite interesting. And obviously it was frowned upon back in the day. The Mesmerist was, you know, a cross between a clairvoyant, a mind reader, and a marriage guidance counsellor. And actually she made quite a lot of money at this. There's a backstory in here as well, and there's an underlying backstory that comes back and causes problems. And really, I loved it. It was a really interesting read. Historically, you were drawn into the time and place. And yeah, great. So that's Barbara Ewing, The Mesmerist, so look out for that. And then I actually requested from Books to Go, and they are, it's an auto select company on NetGalley for me, and there were a couple of things that I was interested in, and I got in touch with their publicist to see if I could have them in hardback form, because, as you know, I do a lot of reading and reviewing for NetGalley, but I prefer to have the real life books in my hand. So one that I received these both direct from the authors. This one really interested me, Angels of Light, and this is by Mark A. Vance, Beyond the Veil. Now, Mark A. Vance is an airline pilot over with US Airline, and very experienced airline pilot, but this is fiction, but obviously utilising all his information, his expertise from flying over the years, but it's got a little bit of a paranormal edge to this. I do believe that this is Christian fiction, so obviously that isn't to everyone's tastes, but I've not read this yet, so, you know, I'm really interested to see what this is about. And it says a cocky, wisecracking commercial airline pilot has a surreptitious, lifelong relationship with the apparition of a dead relative, killed decades earlier in a military plane crash. When the apparition urges the pilot to solve the mystery of that crash, government censorship and stonewalling ensues, eventually surmounted by confidential information provided by entities disguised as the pilot's dead relative and murdered comrades. So that's right up my street. It may well be that this is like a conspiracy theory type piece of work, and it might not be anything spiritual as such. Either way, I'm really interested in it, so I've got that yet to read. And the other one that I was sent by the author is Cake, a novel, and this is by Nicole Brooks, and this came out this year, and yeah, she sent it to me direct via Amazon, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I was interested in the blurb, but I wasn't expecting, you know, sometimes when you're not expecting it to be so riveting and so well written that it's going to be a 5-star read. I always have an open mind going into it, into these books, and I always give an honest review, whether, you know, it's good or bad, and I try to be fair, but absolutely loved this. And really it's a cross in a way between a family drama. It reads like very well written women's fiction. We've got 2 main characters in here. The one woman has got a very privileged life, is wealthy, she owns a gym, and really she's quite, what's the word when they're very superficial. She's very superficial. It's all about the glamour, all about looking slim, all about the right clothes. She has got children, but she's not particularly maternal, and she's got a wonderful husband who does everything for her, but she wants to leave him because she thinks the grass is greener on the other side. Then on the other hand, we've got the other, I'm trying to think of the names now, Keely and Michelle. Michelle has had a really tough life as a single parent. She thinks she's giving her daughter a better life by marrying some chap who ends out to be horrendous, you know, and there's trigger warnings in here really for domestic abuse, and just really well written. The characters in this are well formed. I can't stand Keely. She's very not Keely, sorry, the other one, Michelle. She's very superficial. But towards the end, you know, you can see sometimes reasons why people become as they become. And there's also an affair that takes place in here. And yeah, it was really good. I couldn't put it down. It perhaps is a slice of life as well. I think if you're somebody that likes Sally Rooney, who, you know, is very favoured, very hyped with her 2 books, I think that you will love this. I personally think this is far better. I've not given 5 stars to either of Sally Rooney's books, and that's just a matter of personal opinion. I think this is a very well written look at these 2 women's lives and how they intertwine and how we have to cope with adversity, really. So yeah, have a look out for it. It's only just come out. Very unusual cover. Nicole Brooks, and I gave it 5 stars. Wonderful. Right, on to news then. So news is, I've got my monthly book here from my bestie Kerry Ann from Woman vs Books, Sleeper's Castle by Barbara Erskine. I love Barbara Erskine. And historical fiction, and always well written. I've never been disappointed in any of her books. often we can find ourselves with split time narratives, and there's always a bit of the unusual in, you know, like often it'll be to do with witches and the witch hunt and burning of the witches at the stake and etc., that sort of thing. So yeah, the girl did good. Looking forward to that one. For those of you that are not already aware, the long list come out for the Booker Prize. That's widely available for you to have a look at, and also for the not the Booker Prize. And I was reading something recently that there's 171 nominations, which is I think this is the most number for the non-book. I want to say not the 9 o'clock news, not the non-book prize news. So yeah, they are wanting people to give their thoughts on those 171 books because they're struggling to get a long list put together. I'm doing a video soon from all the new releases from NetGalley, which I've read quite a few over the last couple of months. So there's some new releases there that are quite interesting. So I'm going to do that as a separate video for you. As you know, I'm doing the Penguin Challenge. So it's gone a little bit by the wayside because of all the things that, you know, the challenges and the readathons, etc. But I've ordered City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've seen it's been on my radar for a few weeks, and I think it's recently just come out. I'm looking forward to that. And some sad news. One of our favourites, Andrea Camilleri, has passed away. He's the author of our beloved Montalbano books and the series that we love to watch on television. Yeah, we're sad about that, bless him. He was still heavily involved. He was in his 90s and he was still heavily involved in shaping the TV series. So that'll be a big loss to them, I think. And the other thing is The Tiger Who Came to Tea, one of Judith Kerr's children's books, has been bought by Channel 4. And I'm trying to think I think it's Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit. That's one that Deborah Kerr was an actress. Judith Kerr wrote. And they're making it into a series on Channel 4 adaptation, and it's going to be starring none other than Benedict Cumberbatch. So that'll be really nice to see. And then finally, my exciting bit of news is that I am about to launch my creative channel, my creating channel. As you know, I've put a couple of posts on here about all the stuff that I do with the books, the junk journals and my embroidery and everything else, and they've been really popular on here. So let me know if you still want me to keep that going for you. But from the last one, I actually got quite a few commissions for work, and really exciting things have taken off from there. And yeah, people in America contacted me as well and put orders in, so I'm very excited about that. So decided that I ought to start a separate channel. So it's about to be launched. It's called Jayne Catherine Creative, and that's CREATIV. No E on the end, just a big V. And that's going to be launched soon. Everything crafty, creative, all the other things that I love making, you know, my other loves in life apart from the books. And yeah, I've also got potentially being offered to be on a design team for some creators over in America, so that is really exciting. So please, I'm hoping to get it within the next week. It's going to be up and fully running, we hope. And so please go and subscribe, even if you're not crafty people. Please go and subscribe and give me some love and support over there. it's a big decision for me because, you know, as you know, it takes quite a lot of commitment to do these videos and to run a channel. And because, you know, I've had so much success really and encouragement that I thought, yeah, why not? Why not indeed? Also, the shop will be up and running fully. I will be using our art website, our art shop, which is depingo.co.uk, and I'll put all the details down below. Part of the website is Davy's art and some of the fine art from famous artists that we still sell for some of the artists we had in our fine art gallery. And then the other side of it will be all my creative projects that will be up for sale, including junk journaling supplies. So yeah, really excited, loads happening. And let me know how, you know, if you're going to come along and support me, and anything to do with the bookish things we've mentioned today. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.